Hey guys, what's up? It's been a while, hasn't it, huh? I uh I just came back from break. And well, I've been back for a couple of days actually. But I'm so tired. It's like every time I think of doing a stream where I just chill and talk, it just automatically makes me extremely tired. And that's where we are right now. So as you can see, I got this image behind me animated. It came in just a couple days ago. Uh, I'll have to hold on. Let me see if I can pin the guy who did that for me. I want to give credit to the people who did that. Super cool guys. You may actually know them. They're quite popular. Let me just copy that. Let me just go back and I'll just paste it there and pin it. Yeah, there you go. I don't know if I can pin messages in Twitch. I don't really care too much to be honest. But how are you guys doing? I guess I should just try and catch up a little bit. I don't know how long this one's gonna be. Like I said, I'm really tired. But yeah, I went on vacation. But I also got a new mic. I'm not using it right now, but I got a new mic for other purposes. I guess I might as well fill you in on what that's all about. But pretty much I got an audio recorder so I can start going around and just recording natural ambience because I think it's really nice, you know. And perhaps since I'm so chill on my own streams, I keep getting reminded of that. I might as well get my own comfy material and use it while I stream, because I'd rather go out myself and record something interesting than to just go on like audio stock and just use something that's already on there, you know. None of you guys would really know, but like I guess it's just a me thing. I like being authentic like that, but it also has other purposes too. I've also been told that I should give ASMR a shot. Honestly, I don't know how I'd do with that, but the thing is, I need to figure out how to get that mic connected to my computer in a way that would actually make it somewhat effective. Before I went on vacation, I got it maybe like a day before I left. And I only had that one day to try and hook it up to my computer, and I had hardly any luck. It feels like I had to jerry rig it just to have my computer recognize that it exists. But I mean, now that I'm back, I have more time to work on that. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like ASMR would be pretty cool. I feel like I'm gonna be terribly bad at it. Man, I don't know much of what to really share about vacation. It was kind of spur of the moment for you guys. I mean, normally I go weeks in between a stream, and I'm always sad about that. But I always got to bring it up too. But you know, it's this time. It was more than just, you know, trying to like set things up. It was actually like a sort of an escape from reality as I know it. So I feel like that was a little helpful. A nice refresher. But as soon as I got back home, you know, that good mindset that got me back into wanting to get the grind going again just went away. So you know how that goes, I'm sure. But it's strange actually when you think about it, because where you're always at, you're always trying to struggle to make things work. And you know, you have your good days, you have your bad days, but there's something about like getting away from literally everything that completely changes it, you know? Because while I'm home, I'm like, oh, I gotta balance work. I gotta prepare for streams, get things working. I gotta make sure I wake up at a good time. Gotta eat when I need to. You know, just basic stuff. I tend to forget a lot of that. A lot of the basic routine things I tend to overlook. I don't know. Maybe that's just like a me thing. But you know, when I'm out on vacation, it's like I don't have to worry about any of that. I don't have to worry about any of the bad stuff, but I don't have to worry about any of the good stuff either. So it's sort of just me and my mind just doing whatever, passing the time in an unfamiliar area. So it was pretty nice. But while I was gone, I did bring that audio recorder with me. Unfortunately, where I went, it was a bit windy, so I feel like that messed with some of the recordings a little bit, which is unfortunate. But and while I was out, I went to all sorts of shops to try and look for like a windscreen. Talk about spur of the moment. Bring this new device with me, and I'm incapable of using it to its full potential. But I got it on the way, so now I should be able to actually go out and make use of it. I managed to get one decent recording compared to all the rest. Yeah, it had like water trickling down. It had like a fountain in the back. Caught a bunch of crickets with the occasional frog. Really nice. Would you believe it? It was just in like the backyard of the place I was staying at. It was crazy. It kind of makes me feel a little glad that I got it, because at first that audio recorder that I got, it was a bit expensive, and as soon as I started trying it out, I was like, wow, it's really good. But like after having a hard time connecting it to my computer, it was a bit frustrating, and I started having second thoughts, wondering if I made the right decision for it. But as I started using it more, I realized like field recordings aren't really that hard to do. You'd think like, oh, you need great scenery, you need to go to like a very specific place, all that stuff. But really, you could just go for a walk. It's sensitive enough to pick up anything, and if the whole point is to pick up ambience, then well, it's doing its job. You can do that anywhere. So I think that's pretty cool. I did manage to treat myself a little bit while I was out to some good food. I don't really have that very much. It's I usually like stick to making bare essentials, you know, instead of making things like making anything complicated. It's just, I suppose I sort of operate on survival, you know what I mean? It's just like, all right, I need this many carbs, I need this much protein, you know, that kind of thing, this many vegetables, and then I'll just make something that has all of it, that covers all the bases, and then I just sort of eat that for a while. Not the greatest thing, but at least I'm getting the nutrition in. But yeah, while I was on vacation, I actually indulged a little bit more in something special. You wouldn't believe it. But one of them was it was at a restaurant that supposedly had awards. It had award-winning burgers at it. And you know, I go there and I'm like, dang, I got a award-winning, huh? You say? Well, shit, give me one of those. And yeah, I gotta say, it was fantastic. It really stood out, you know. There definitely is a difference between getting like a burger from, I don't know, like a fast food place, or even like some typical restaurants. Some of the times they try and like make a burger really fancy, and it just doesn't work out, you know. You can't really make a fancy burger. You can only make it so fancy before it is just unnecessary, I guess. But yeah, they definitely didn't make it too fancy. They just did everything right. Because you'll when you look at like a burger from like a fast food place, it has like all the ingredients that you'd want in a burger. It's except that maybe like the texture is off. You know, you have multiple different textures that are sort of conflicting, or maybe you'll have too much of an ingredient or too little, so flavors overpower each other, and it's just very imbalanced, so you're not really getting a good experience. But it was really nice to actually have food that was made well enough to where it's like you're actually getting a proper experience. I guess that's all I'm just trying to say here. But that really fancy thing that I indulged in, it actually wasn't the burger. That was one of them, though. At the time when I had it, I was like, oh wow, this is really good. This is the best thing that I'm gonna have. Turns out the next day was way better. I went to this restaurant, right? And I didn't go on vacation alone, right? I went to go visit some people, and while I was over there, they made reservations to a fancy restaurant. And it's really funny because like they did the reservations months in advance, but they also said that it was someone's birthday in the party that was gonna show up that night. And so like we all got there, and I wore a blazer, by the way. I I am not a fancy person, but it's It's so weird. I'm just the kind of guy that'll wear like a t-shirt, some jeans, a hoodie, you know. I'll wear a beanie. I'll do it out in the heat. It's when it's summer out, I'll be wearing that. But then all of a sudden, I'm just out wearing a blazer, you know. I had fancy sunglasses. They're not fancy at all. I just say that. There's something crazy about just changing how you look completely. I felt so out of place being there, but apparently it worked out. I was looking quite dapper. But anyway, we got there and there was like a card that said happy birthday just in the middle of the table. And it was like the fanciest table in the restaurant, sort of like overlooking everything. And you could slide like a curtain around to get like privacy and all that. I felt so out of place the whole time. I can't express how weird it was. But I saw something. It actually wasn't even on the menu. It was when the waiter showed up, they were like, "All right, so we have a special tonight for Australian Wagyu." And I'm like, "Oh, really?" Because I've always been one to want to try Wagyu, and pretty much if you're gonna get Wagyu, it better be either Japanese or Australian. Everywhere else, it's kind of not actually Wagyu. It's not good enough, you know. So if you want that good, you get either Japanese or Australian. High rollers table, absolutely. It totally was. So I got it right, and at first, when I took a bite of it, I couldn't really tell that it was anything special, right? Like I thought like based on my perception of what Wagyu's supposed to be like, it didn't match at all. So I was confused at first. I was like, did I get the right thing? And so like the fancy guy I am with proper manners, I looked to my friend sitting next to me, and I'm like, "Okay, give me a bite of your steak." And so he cuts me off a piece, and I try it, and I'm like, "Oh, it's really good, but also, it's completely different than mine." I was like, "Oh wait, no, mine is special." So it was so crazy because I thought that it would be like so obviously like different, but apparently I couldn't tell, and I was looking for a difference, but I gotta say, the more I had it, the more I liked it. And the more I realized how different and special it was. So I just cut pieces off for everyone. I probably only ate like half of it, but not a lot of people have an opportunity to be able to try something like that. So I gave a couple pieces to everybody so they could try it, and they were just like, "Oh my god, they're so crazy." Like, yeah. I dreaded what the bill was gonna look like. My friend did not let me look at it. Tried to hide it from me, but I took a quick sneak peek at it, and I think I saw most of the receipt there, and the biggest number that I saw, which I know for a fact I got the most expensive thing there. I mean, it's obviously right. It was $129 for that steak, and it wasn't like a big steak either. It was like about the size of like a filet mignon. So it was crazy, right? I felt so bad because like my friend was just like, no, I got you. Like it was, as soon as I ordered it, he was just like, welcome to the club, and he just like turned to me and like shook my hand. I'm just like, this man is just he's looking at me like like he had the intention to pay for it, and of course I get the most expensive thing, and he's just I can tell. I mean, I don't know like how he actually felt, but if he were me, I'd be like, if I was just like, yeah, get whatever you want, and someone's just like, hey, give me the most expensive thing on the menu, it's just like, hey, and to make it worth it, how about you give me a little handshake so I can I can let you know that you're costing me an arm and a leg on this one. That's what it felt like, at least. Like, he's crazy. I've only had a little bit of it once. It's crazy. But I felt so bad. But I mean, you got all kinds of stuff. I don't know what the total price of the whole meal was. I didn't get to see that far into the receipt. I just saw like, oh, it had to have gone into like the 400s or some shit. It was stupid. But you know, he was just like, hey man, I know you don't get this opportunity very often. I was like shitting myself, just like, I just cost this man so much money, and he's just like, no. Just like insisting that it's okay. And that's so weird to me. Usually you don't run into people that are like that. I mean, you might run into some people that'll spot you like a 10-piece nugget, you know, and it's just like, oh yeah, it's totally fine. But like, you don't hear about people just like, oh, here's a $130 steak on me, and it's like, no, let me pay you back. And he's like, no. And I'm like, okay, let me see the receipt. I was like, no. I swear to God, it's like a battle of modesty with that guy. It's like, I feel like I need to pay him back, and he's like, no, let me do it. And I'm like, no, let me. Yeah, super nice dude. But yeah, there's like lobster mac and cheese too. Let's see what else. There's I think we got like calamari. What else? Oh, I got garlic mashed potatoes. You can't have a steak without potatoes, you know what I mean? And what else? Oh yeah, because it was quote unquote someone's birthday. Everyone there just was like, oh, it's your birthday. Like when the waiter shows up, and the waiter's just like, oh, whose birthday is it? And everyone just points at me, and I'm just like, it's my birthday. It's just blatantly lying. And they're just like, hold on, I'll be right back. And they come back with like a little like mason jar, like a pint-sized mason jar that has like a s'mores lava cake in it. That was really good. But like, I couldn't help but you gotta understand, right? Like, I'm on vacation, right? That's already rare. I'm at a fancy restaurant, okay? I'm wearing fancy clothes, right? We're at like a reservation table looking over everyone as if I mean something. And I order the most expensive thing. And I lie to him about it being my birthday. Like, I didn't feel normal at all. I felt like such an asshole. But They're just like, oh, happy birthday, oh, have a good birthday and all that. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, birthday. Give me your free, give me your free s'mores cake. You know, but yeah, I go in and I share it around because there's no way that I could handle like just gorging on it myself as if I deserve it. But and then I think after that there's what was it called? There's like a banana foster. Um but it was okay, so how do I explain this? Okay, so imagine like a cake, but like a thick cake, so kind of like a pound cake or something like that on this dish, right? And there's just like a large scoop of like vanilla ice cream sitting on it, right? But then there's like banana slices going all around it, and it was pretty much all in in like a pool of was that caramel, I guess? I don't know. It was like liquid caramel or something like that. Some sort of sweet sauce. But then when they put that on the table, this like the waitress brings out like a like a measuring cup and like a lighter. And she just like puts the lighter and like aims it into like the measuring cup, and then like the cup just catches on fire, and then she just pours it on the ice cream and like all around the dish. And I gotta say, that was the first time I've ever seen ice cream be on fire. Like what? So that was interesting. It was good. It was good. Bananas are great. I actually ate way more bananas while I was over there. I was just snacking on them the whole time, and I'd have a little banana foster while you're at it. I don't know, but I don't know. Moral of the story is like, I feel so weird in like a higher class situation, whether it was like done for me or not. Like I'd never do something like that for myself. Like as if I deserve to be in like the table overlooking everything, let alone be in a fancy restaurant from the get-go. It's crazy. I did go to a beach, and that's when I brought my audio recorder down there, and I was trying to capture like the waves coming in on the shore, because I thought that would be I mean, that'd be fantastic, right, for ambience. But in typical beach fashion, it was extremely windy. So without that windscreen, it was pretty much completely unusable. I feel so bad about that, man. Because with exposed mics like that, just getting blasted by wind, you know, especially when they're so sensitive like that, it would capture the waves, but then it'd just like be a really loud whoosh, and then it'd like peak the mic and there'd be a lot of static, and I'm like, well, that's ruined. That'd be like every 2 seconds. So I suppose it was not destined to happen. I was really sad about that. But I mean, yeah, it was just pretty nice. I didn't do a whole lot while I was out on vacation. It was more just getting away from everything. You know, there's getting off of work, not having to worry about work. And then, but like still being home. And then having all these like typical everyday responsibilities that you gotta weigh out. And it might get in the way of other things. And like I do, I miss it. I miss a lot of things. But then there's also just, I don't know. I already said this, but like being away from all the good stuff and the bad stuff. So not only was I not worrying about, I didn't even think about work or anything back at home while I was out there. It's not like I could stream anything if I wanted to. I mean, actually, the thought did come once, like maybe I could like stream from my phone, but I wouldn't have my model or anything, so I suppose I decided against that. But I don't know. It was sort of just like me being away from everything, but also talking to that buddy, the one that spotted me for that dinner. He's a very insightful guy. But it was funny. We were in a group of like maybe 5 people, but I ended up hanging out with him the most, and he's usually like the busiest. 'Cause we went down there to hang out with him, and he's usually so busy. Like last time I went to visit him, he was like there were days where it was just like, yeah, we don't even see him. Okami. Yeah, I could play Okami. I just need to get it real quick. It is $10 right now, so might as well pick that up. How you doing, bro? Is the music fine? It might be a little too quiet. Adjusting audio levels has always been a little difficult for me, just because I have my audio enhanced and suppressed so many times that I don't know what it actually sounds like to other people. If it's too low, I do have it very low, but like if it's too low, I can just turn it up. Anyway. Chillin'. Could be a tad louder. I got you. So let's go up. There you go. I just didn't want to be challenging the audio there. Like I wouldn't want it to go over my voice. Like if I can just figure out like a good level. This is the first time I've inserted this. I did this like 10 minutes before stream, just threw this in there. But yeah, once I can get the levels good for the Zatsus, then we'd be big chillin'. But yeah, back to, this is a good balance. I gotcha. Yeah, I was talking to that guy, and he's very insightful. He's got quite a bit of success too. Really has it going for him. But you'd think that for someone it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense for me to be like talking about him like this in a way, because you guys have no idea what this guy is like. But he's really simple. Like he doesn't really let anything really bother him. Like just like the way that I think is very like analytical and like thinking about everything. And it tends to like overwhelm me a bit. And I feel like that like gets in the way of me performing things. Like I may be smart, but like I may be like overthinking it. But then he'll just be like, yeah, I'm doing this because of this, and that's it. Oh, this happened? It doesn't matter. I'm a robot? No. I'm a robot? No way. If I'm a robot, I'm gonna cry. I shouldn't be. That'd be really weird. I don't think I have anything to make me sound like a robot. Connection's all good and all that. I don't know. We'll see if that stays. Unless you're talking about oh gosh, look at me overthinking things. You're probably just talking about describing myself. He's older by a good bit. Yeah, he is. You know who I'm talking about. It's just crazy because I'll be like expressing my troubles and concerns, but there's like a difference between the people that are just like, yeah, I get it, and then like they might give you a little bit of advice, but like it's sort of like one-dimensional and it doesn't really get you anywhere. But I don't know, maybe it's also like the fact that it's like accompanied by a personality like that, where it like hits a little different. It comes with experience. Dealing with a lot of bullshit over the years changes the way you approach things. Yeah. You and I both know how fucked shit feels all the time. But I really do like overthink things all the time. I've always been like that, but I guess I didn't realize how much that habit, is that even a habit? I don't know. It might just be like a personality trait, but I never realized like how much that actually like affected things. Because if like there's definitely pros and cons to being like simple, and there's pros and cons to being very thorough. So like when it comes to doing things and accomplishing things and pursuing all that, it's best to keep it simple. Whereas I tend to spend so much time thinking about every little detail, making sure that it's just right. And then like I spend so much time working on it that I never find enough time to actually do any of it. And when I do, I just realize all of the little things that like I also could have done, and like no matter how much work I put into something, it's like if I'm being all nitpicky and thinking about all the details, then I'm never gonna satisfy that itch, you know, because the itch itself is just looking for something, right? And most of the time it's so small that no one will really notice or even really give a shit. So in the end, it's sort of just like wasted effort. So that's definitely something I need to stop doing and just sort of, I guess, shut my brain off and just go. Maybe that'll work a little better. Yeah. It does save your eggs. music's really nice. I've known about this music for like over a year now, and I kept it in my back pocket, thinking of like a time where I could actually use it. I have that with so many songs, man. But they're all for like very specific purposes. And when I got this little animated background here, accompanied with like the thought of how I'm sort of just known to be really chill, I was just like, all right, let me go into that backlog and let me look for some of the songs that I have saved that might fit something as cozy as what we're looking at here. And would you believe it? There's actually not a whole lot. It's kind of crazy. There's like 3 different types of things that you'll see, or that you would expect to see in that like long playlist of mine. It's really, really chill stuff like this, or it's like sort of like upbeat or like almost a little jazz like. And then there's just like really fast, just like, I don't know, just like rock or like metal or something. But the most common thing about all of them is they're all very like melodic. I guess that's just my style. Because like someone can like shred on a guitar for a while and I'll be like, yeah, that's pretty cool. But like, I guess instead of like listening to like someone shred or like something really intense, like you can also have something really intense but be like melodic too. But maybe that's just how you tell the difference between like a good song and a bad one, if you actually have weight behind the notes. Because like the faster the song is, the less time you have to really enjoy like the notes individually, and then you have to sort of think of it like in bunches, like in chords, I guess. I'm definitely not musically inclined, but like at least when I listen to like a faster song, I have to like sort of pay more attention to the chords or like the whole melody rather than something that's like lo-fi here, where it's like you can just feel each note and each note has its own weight to it. So that's why I fuck with shit like this really hard. I think I played this in the car while I was out on vacation, and the one driving was just like, I'm gonna fall asleep listening to this, and I'm like, don't do that, but like, thanks. It's like, oh well, it definitely has like the intended cozy effect that I sort of listened to it for, but don't kill me, please. Like Polyphia, intense but melodic. It's like metal jazz, yeah. You know, I was listening to a bit of Polyphia recently, and the more songs that I hear from them, the more I realize I only like the one particular album. It's actually the Renaissance one that you showed me. But like, I'll hear just a bunch of other songs that they make, and there's like one in particular that just, it's like half nostalgic and it half pisses me off. Like, it's so weird, because like it starts off melodic, but then it starts to turn into like EDM. I don't know if you might know which one I'm talking about. That was their peak for sure. It was definitely a good album for sure. Like every song in there was really nice. Which Which one was my favorite? There's definitely a lot of good ones in there. Let's see. I'm just pulling it up on my phone. Oh wow, I'm featured on my own YouTube app. That's cool. Which one was it? I liked Light a lot, and Ivory's nice. But you know, the one that actually stands out to me, I feel like might be a surprising pick, but I actually really like Bittersweet. I like that one a lot. Because, like, Ivory and Light, I mean, all of them are good, but, like, those two are, like, the faster paced ones. But then you'll have, like, Bittersweet, which is definitely on the more melodic side. I guess that's sort of why they stand out, because they are both, like you were saying, metal jazz. That's an interesting way to put it, actually. Yeah. You know the that's a good one, yeah. There was also another one that you played at one point. It was a Lee McKinney one. Which one was it in particular? It was let me find it. The Sun and the Wind. That one slaps. I like that one. That one's good. But Paradise is really good. Ivory's your favorite. Yeah. Yeah, they're all great. Ivory definitely stands out a bit. I would say that one was my favorite for a long time. But you know, going back, I say this every time when I say the word favorite. I never really actually have favorites. It's just like they're not really comparable. You know what I mean? When Ivory is like a faster paced one and then Bittersweet is more melodic, right? You listen to them for like a different reason, right? At least I do. You would like Pliny? Dude, I found a song from them recently. It went on like autoplay. But what was it? Dude, I've only heard one song from them so far, and it was the one that it played. But oh god, where is it? It's so good. Come on, where is it? Wait, did I not even like it or anything? Oh gosh. I'm really flubbing it this time. Let's see if I can find it again. Pliny's great. I hope I said that right. Which one? Oh yeah, Selenium Forest. That was the one that played. That one's so good. I showed that to my friend. He was like, you know, I've heard of them before, but I've never actually listened to them. And I was like, hey, give it a shot. And he's like, yeah, I approve. And it's like, wow, I don't really get that from you very much. The music nut, usually every time I show him something, he's just like, it's not that great. Or I like this one more, but like this one, he's just like, yeah, I focus with that. It's like, that's sick. Check out Pliny's 2020 album, Impulse Voices. Okay, sick. I definitely will. I'll just put that right there. Okay, cool. It's one of their old ones, classic, amazing. Yeah. Dude, it was so cool when I heard it. Yeah, I was just like in the middle of work and I was just like, all right, let's just have like a random playlist go. Because I usually like make my own playlist, but you know, I kind of got sick of hearing the same things. You know, it doesn't matter if you have like 300 songs on that playlist, but like if you listen to it every day for like 3 months straight, you're just like, all right, let me hear something new. And then that one showed up and I was just like, I need to remember that. And so like I couldn't change it. I was like too busy at work and I had to wait until I got off, went through like the history of like 50 videos like before it, and I was just like, that's the one. It's great. Yeah, dude, it was so good. What else we got? What else do we got? Oh, that's so cool, man. I've really been enjoying just like the walk to and from work. I like don't realize how that really like how nice it is. Just because, I mean, since I've gotten back, I've made it more of a priority to like have more time before going to work in the mornings. So I'd like wake up earlier and actually officially wake up, you know, but before I just like wake up, go to work, you know, almost immediately, like within 30 minutes of waking up. It was terrible. But then I'd like listen to music on the walk there. And then that's sort of where my mind would just sort of wander, and I would just imagine a bunch of things. There's too lazy to make playlists. I just use artist radios. Well, most of the stuff that I listen to aren't made by like known artists. A lot of them are like just like one-offs, or like there might be some like game soundtracks in there, but it'll be like a mix of like just a buttload of things. Like each song is by like a different person, so if I went through like an artist radio, and they all like wildly vary too. It's not a very organized playlist. It's not like I have a chill one and then like a rock one, but I'll go from a song like this to like and I'm like, that's the mood change. This is really funny. But yeah, like I don't know how much I've mentioned it, right? But I've been trying to work on writing a story, but most of my ideas for the story would come from the ideas that would pop in my head as I like sort of envision things that would happen while I listen to music, and then it would all sort of like I would listen to a bunch of different type of music on the way to work, and then I'll try and like tailor like a scene to like the feeling or like emotion that I would get from like listening to that song. So I feel like it's a lot easier to create material when you have the emotion already. You know, that's sort of what the purpose of music is. So it really helps with that process. But I mean, I've been thinking about that story for many years. I need to write it down more. I think like I'm not even done writing like the prologue to it, but I'd say that I have enough material thought out to where I could probably do like 70% of the whole story. I just need to write it out. It is kind of hard to like fill in the meat and potatoes of it, because at least my issue with it is like I'll come up with all sorts of things that can happen, but then when you get down to it, you're like, okay, I need to make it not only make sense, but also like align like motives with like the characters. I need to make it like make sense, like where the people are, their actions, like what they say, like all the little nitty gritty details sort of have to make sense because it sort of bothers me a little bit when I'll watch a show and like something doesn't really make sense, or someone just like all of a sudden does something out of the blue seemingly. It's probably just going back to me over analyzing things, but like if someone's gonna like say something like in a story, or like having like an opinion over something, especially, like it's gotta like sort of carry the personality of the character, but then also be relevant to like the situation, but also the history. Like you can't really just like brute force a character to fit a role, otherwise it's just gonna look like a good character is a believable one, is I guess what I'm just trying to say. So it's like having like it's like having like a pacifist character all of a sudden just like start beating people up because like, oh, it'd be cool if he did, and it's like, well, he wouldn't though. So like that's like more of like an extreme example, but in terms of like setting up like a story, you really gotta have like character interactions are like extremely important. So it takes a long time. But if I can finish it, then I can start moving on to the later phases of like actually trying to make something out of it. I guess you could say that that's my big passion project that I'd like to complete. It's not really related to streaming, but I mean it is related to this character. This model, minus the cat ears and the tail. Like the only thing relevant or irrelevant would be the cat ears and tail. It's just I made this model out of like the image that I had for the character and the world based on like of the image that you have animated right here. It's trying to like sort of capture a little bit of the good side. But I just thought it would be cool to sort of incorporate everything that I know into the things that I do, because I definitely like authenticity and like making things human. So I feel like if I actually do complete this story, I feel like it would actually do well. And that's strange. That feels strange for me to say, because I don't really feel like that for anything else, really. Just because I've seen so many stories, and I feel like none of them, at least most of them, haven't really put as much thought behind like the characters and like the reasoning as this. It's I guess it's supposed to be I don't even know how to describe it. I should probably figure out how to describe it, but it's definitely supposed to be like when you like encounter the like the situations, or like, okay, when I hear stories and like, yeah, when I hear stories, I like to imagine myself in that position, and I like to imagine what I would do. So I feel like when I do that, it tends to like be a little more real. Like I want to be like engaged with it. I want to like feel like I want to be like invested into it. I'm like the words are like dancing around. Can't quite say it, but I guess I just want to write it in a way where if anyone puts themselves in that position, like I want them to sort of feel what's going on, because there's more. It's more than just like you see the characters and like you see what's happening to them, but instead, like if you imagine it as if like it was happening to you, like what would you do, like honestly? Then like once you put yourself in those shoes, it really makes it more intense, because you know, maybe I don't know. I feel like I'm just rambling and not really making any sense. Well developed and thought out characters is essential for a good story. Yeah. Writing stories is a really constructive way to use your time. Keeps the mind super sharp. Yeah. I totally agree. It's really making me think like how I should actually like express what it's supposed to be like. Like, you know, when you watch a show and it gets to like an intense part in the story, right? And like maybe your heart sinks, or like you get nervous for the character, right? Or like maybe it gets like really emotional or something like that. Those are like the things that people remember the most about the stories when it's all said and done. Like when they finish it, they're just like, oh yeah, that part really fucked me up. You know? So, but like for some reason, it doesn't happen a whole lot, you know? But I feel like the more like realistic you make it, and the more like human you make it, the more it sort of resonates with you, I guess. I guess it also has to do with like choreography too. There, there's like every aspect of it contributes to that sort of feeling. It's not just how the characters are written. It's partly why I'd like to try and get better at drawing. It's another thing that I keep putting off, because I'd like to be able to not just imagine what the story would be like what would happen in it, but I'd also like to be able to create like a visual, just like a visual for it. Like if you can like set the scenery, put it at like the right angle, capture like the emotions or like the intensity. You know, like the saying, like, picture's worth 1,000 words. It's really important. It goes with the choreography. And then say you look at like old animations, like I guess for example like an old like Disney movie or something, it'll be like 24 frames per second, but then you could pause at any point and each frame would be a full illustration, right? Like it would look good no matter where you pause it at. And that's sort of something that I think is pretty important. I really am just rambling about whatever, saying whatever comes to mind. It's a long road. It's a long road for sure. But you know, if I can like sit down and get better at drawing, then maybe I can actually like show off what I have in mind so people can actually start to see what I see when it comes to that. Because I could talk about it all I want, but until someone like sees what you're trying to do, that's like when it starts to stink. It's not like I can really commission other people to do all the illustrations. I'd have to be super rich to be able to offhand the work to other people, because it's more than just illustrations. It'd be the music, the sound, you know, like voiceovers, shit like that. Chill stream night. It always is. It's been almost a whole month since I streamed last, so it was definitely overdue. Sometimes you just don't really want to play a game, you know? Like a game sounds fun, but I don't know, I was like looking through the things that I could do, and it's like, well, yeah, they all seem pretty fun, but I guess, especially when it comes to how I haven't streamed in a while, plus like a lot of things happening, it would be like more appropriate to just have a stream where you're just talking about stuff, getting things off my chest, I guess. It's one of the things, it's like one of like the big points that I kind of want to show off on streams. You know, there's a lot of people that, like, there's a lot of streamers out there that sort of just do games, or like they always have this like personality to uphold, like, and then especially the ones that are like in agencies too, like they have to act a certain way and they can't really talk about a whole lot of stuff either. So I guess that sort of is one of the benefits of being completely independent. I can sort of just talk about whatever, but at the same time I feel like it's also kind of sobering to have like I would personally value a streamer that would just not really give a shit and just talk about whatever, because you sort of look at it like streamers or like content creators, their job is to sort of like be entertaining, or like I don't know, either entertaining, insightful, or whatever, right? But like you don't really hear them talk about like, I don't know, like everyday stresses or personal issues. I mean, at a certain point, it's like inappropriate to get like really personal, but like when it comes to the actual topic matter, it's like, I mean, at the end of the day, we're all people. So just talking about stuff is nice. There are the content creators that would like, they're entirely dedicated to stuff like that, but I don't want to be one of those either, because usually those creators tend to get like really deep or philosophical with their stuff to the point where like that's kind of what their identity is, and that's not exactly what I'm trying to go for. It's like, you want to be fun, you want to be entertaining, you want to sort of fill that role of like being the friend that you chill with on the couch. But then I also think it would be nice to fill in the role of like, you know, not just hanging out just to have fun, but also like to like talk about stuff, you know. We're not party friends. We're not like venting friends. It's like whatever happens in the moment, I guess. It's up to me to decide which one it would be, because I could easily be playing Doom right now and just be shitting myself over how hard something is and getting scared over like a demon just jumping on my face and tearing it apart, and I'd be like, oh my god, it's get off, and you know, jokes and all that happen. But then there's the contrast of there's also just talking about stuff, nothing too serious, nothing really like depressing, but I guess just real. I kind of just like that, because I think that like someone that you can go to that fills in both of those bases is really valuable. And have fun and talk about stuff. I'm not really afraid to talk about the stuff that bothers me or like the struggles, but I feel like I'd be lying to you guys if like I said that everything was going fine or just according to plan or things were going very smoothly. So because everyone sort of goes through stuff like that. I mean, I'm definitely not the only one who's going through these sorts of problems. They're very common. Most of them are about like getting out there and doing stuff. And everyone wants to go out and do stuff, but some people are able to do it a little easier than others. And there's a multitude of reasons of what makes you end up doing it, or like what stops you from doing it. But in the end, it's all just mindset. I guess that's like the biggest thing that I've taken from that vacation. Just like keep it simple, not really overthink anything. Just start a stream. Just don't worry about like don't stress about the audio levels. Don't stress about what time you're gonna start streaming at. Don't stress about what you're gonna do. You know, just like what comes to mind. Like what sounds good in that moment. And then just do it. Schedule like an hour ahead. You know? Every time that I like overthink stuff or I think about like how tired I am, a lot of that gets in the way of like streaming, because I can fit in an hour, a 2-hour long stream every day. It's not like it's hard to be able to do that every day, and I have plenty of time afterwards to do stuff I want. But like, I guess the more you think of the stuff that can stop you, the more likely it will. It's just I have so many interests. That's really one of the difficult parts. Yeah, I want to stream. I'll play games sometimes. I want to talk about stuff. But in terms of like getting anywhere, like I need to do it more often. But then everything that I want to do could also be incorporated into streaming, like those field recordings or ASMR, drawing, cooking sounds really fun. I think it would be really nice to do like cooking streams. Drawing, I don't know if I already said that. Singing, like singing would be really, really interesting, because I'm super self-conscious with it, but I feel like I'm not terrible. It's just I definitely have like a wobbly voice, and my voice cuts out a lot, which with my understanding it's like that goes away as you practice more. But then there's the obvious elephant in the room of like, I mean, there's just something about practicing, just going full tilt, all out loud, when there's like other people around that can hear you. It's like, no, I don't want you to hear me practice. In fact, I don't want you to hear me at all, but like if you do hear me, it would be once and when I did it perfectly, you know. I don't want you to hear me just like singing a song, just like intruding. I don't know, I don't want to be too loud, I guess. Or I don't want to like potentially bother someone with my bad singing, whether I know it or not. I feel like everyone can relate to that one. But I think it'd be fun. What else? I'd like to do that story. I'd like to be able to draw enough to not only make it a physical thing that people can look at, but then also like maybe kick it up a notch, make it like an animation. You just like produce the show like that. If it could be a show, that'd be awesome. If it could be a game, that'd be also awesome. I like imagine the like I imagine how the game would even play if it was one. Like it's not a bad thought to have, to like imagine and sort of like plan out how you'd want it to be, but at the same time it's one of those things that's so far off in the future. But you also need to you need to get the groundwork done first before you can, before you should even really worry about how it would be as a game. So it's just like, I should just keep a mental note, just put a little bookmark of where I think it should be, and then just hide that away, and then actually finish the dang thing. But yeah, when you have so many interests, it's really hard to sort of balance that along with everything else you need to do. Once you get too many things, it starts to get to the point where you almost need to prioritize what you're gonna do and what you're actually gonna cut off. You know, if you can't fit everything in, you gotta cut out what doesn't, what matters the least, I guess. So I guess that'd be the cooking streams, the seeing stuff, and then prioritizing streaming as often as possible, writing the story, and practicing drawing, because drawing takes a long time to get good at. But if I could draw stuff like how this illustration is, this animation, that'd be fantastic. It's definitely overwhelming though, as I try and practice and learn all of it. It gets overbearing very quickly. There's so many things to it. I guess that contributes a little bit to overthinking things, because as much as I would like to keep things simple and just, just do it, mindlessly start it, mindlessly just take in information and practice, it's it's so complicated that I can't really keep a simple mind when working with something so complicated. So I have to go into the analytical side. I gotta overthink things a lot. I can't help it. It all just boils down to doing it. I don't know why I struggle with that so much. Hear a bunch of people just talk about how easy it is for them to do stuff, and the stuff that stops them isn't the same as what stops me for the most part. So I don't know. I don't relate with a lot of people. I guess it's a personal issue, but part of me kind of wishes that I could figure it out. Or find someone that's in the same exact boat. But the most I can do is just take the experiences from the people that I talk to about it, and sort of just figure out how to apply that to my own situation. But maybe that's also overthinking it. I really have a hard time with overthinking stuff. I don't know, it just takes a lot of experimentation. It takes weeks to form habits. it's really, really easy to like miss a day when you're not used to it. When you're in like the habit development stage, it's so easy to fall behind or just like completely lose track of the thing that you're trying to build the habit for in the first place. And then before you know it, like a month goes by and you're not any closer than you were before. You're just like, oh shit, I was trying to do this thing. I've sort of gotten to the point where like I just don't care about work at all. Like the more I'm in, like the more that I think about like all of this, you know, the stream stuff, the story, all these things that I've been talking about, the more I think about that, the more like excited I get to do it. But then when like things unrelated to it just keep popping their heads and like steal my attention from it and like sort of like forcibly put itself higher on the priorities list, it just like it makes me forget where I want to be, or like forget the mindset of how I'd even go about progressing in the first place. So I've started like just not really thinking about work at all. Even while at work, I just spend all my time just thinking about stuff. And yeah, performance at work would take a hit, but like I don't really see a future at that job, especially when like I want this to take off more than anything else. Like if I could do anything, you know, it'd be streaming. It'd be like being that guy that people can come to, hang out with, laugh at stuff, you know, talk about stuff, you know, take the good and the bad and then just like move on. But also, you know, I think that it's a good thing that I'm sort of doing this, where I'm streaming and struggling so hard, because if I'm starting at a point where I can't do a lot and I'm still trying to figure everything out and get things going, then like if I keep going but actually like make progress, then I would have the entire journey of going from nothing to something just be there for people to see, you know? I feel like that gets missed in a lot of people's content. A lot of people don't show that side. Like, the stuff that they create and produce, you'll see that, and that's all archived. But, like, there's so much more behind making all of it that isn't ever seen by anyone, you know? You could probably look at any creator and like there's definitely like a story or a situation behind the stuff that they're doing and like their upbringings and all that, you know, everything that they did and had to happen to get to where they are, that like was never shared, that was never really seen. So from a lot of people's perspective, when they look at their content, it's just like, oh yeah, they're just like that, you know, they were just able to turn it on and just get it going. And you know, it's like, I feel like it's nice to be transparent, because for someone like myself, where like I don't really have a whole lot of value on like where I'm at, so if I do ever get anywhere, then it would only prove like how far you can actually go, whether or not you think you can get anywhere, you know, because there's the people that make it, you know, they have like a living, they make a lot of money, and a lot of people can just like chalk that up to talent, you know, but then like if you can just start from nothing and show the whole process, but then also make it too, then like you can sort of be proof to everyone that sees it that like you really don't have to be special or like naturally gifted, talented, or whatever to be able to make it where you want to go, you know. So no matter how you feel about yourself, you can still get there and make it up, catch up to the big dogs. And that's also why I want to be like transparent and, you know, relatable or human with the whole thing, because that's not something that I see in a lot of other creators. Like maybe that's a bad way to put it. I don't know. This whole thing is kind of just everything to me. So like if there's nothing else that I want to have work out than this, then like I just pour everything I got into it, you know, and try as hard as I can to make it work out. And it's not to undo the hardships that other creators have to go through. Like that's definitely, like every creator has their own hardships with like balancing stuff, creating their work. But like a lot of them keep all of those things to themselves. And I kind of don't. So like I don't know. I don't know if that's like a selling point that I could have. You know, like if people could look at me and be like, "Oh, what makes this guy stand apart from all of the other creators that's a lot of, that's something that I hear a lot of. Like, what can you put on the table? And like, every time I try and say it, it always comes off as like, yeah, but everyone's doing that. Like, that's not like special or anything. But like, I mean, I'll like look at like a chill stream, Zatsu or whatever, and it'd be the creators talking about whatever, but it wouldn't be anything really deep or like personal. It'd just be like, oh yeah, I'm talking about a movie or something. I guess sort of what I was doing earlier with like my vacation. It'd be closer to that. But I don't know, like a lot of it isn't really like heart to hearts. You know what I mean? I feel like that's something that I guess specialize in a little bit. But obviously the more people that would come by, the harder it would be to have a heart to heart. But I don't know. Who knows how things will turn out as time goes. Maybe this whole interpersonal heart to heart stuff would stop as I get my bearings together. But like, at least as it stands now, I just like to sort of share the whole experience so people can look at it and sort of know what to expect. And my experience would be different than everyone else's, but I'm sure there's plenty of people out there that would be able to relate to the stuff that I'm going through. And if I find a way through it, then I guess I find an answer. And you know, maybe my answer would work for someone else too. But as much as I'd like to be real, I'd also like to be fun too. I guess that's just it. That's it. Just stream as you would expect, but then like every once in a while you just like sit down and have like a real catch up, not just like talking about what was happening, but also like how you feel about stuff. It's so complicated. So many things to it. Every time I stream, I'm like, man, I'm glad I did that. Why aren't you doing it more? I don't know. But you like doing it. Oh, yeah, I know. You do it every day. It's like, I'd love to. It's like, why aren't you? Oh, I'm tired. Oh, I have other things I gotta do. It's like, well, if it's as important as you say it is, then you do it. Whether you're tired or not, you do it over other things too. Like, if something really means a lot to you, you'd put it higher on the priority list, even if someone else might call you an idiot for it. It's like, oh, this is obviously more important. Well, maybe to you that thing would be more important, but to me it's like, I want want to fit it in. Got a lot of work to do. Got a lot of streams to do. It's fun to think about. Well, I appreciate everyone that has come by today. I really do. That's super cool. That even after like a month, some people have showed up. So, it'll also be here as a VOD too, in case anyone misses it. It's just me rambling though. Maybe someone just wants me to go ahead and play a game or whatever. We're going at my pace though. Fuck you. I got back from vacation and I play Genshin for the first time, and I look at the events tab and it says there's 2 hours left on the Windbloom Festival, and I'm like, shit. The Windbloom Festival is my favorite event that happens every year. You know, of all of the things, of all of the events, that's my favorite one because there's like the whole musical segment. I'm like, I only have 2 hours to enjoy it. Oh man, now it's gone. Oh, it sucks, man. The anniversary should be coming pretty soon. I know I mentioned it in my Discord that I'd like to do like a whole character analysis. You know, sort of just go over all the characters in it. Look over their strengths and weaknesses, their purposes, what to sort of look for. It's nothing really insightful or anything, nothing really crazy. Like, you'd be able to figure out everything that I'd be saying if you looked over it, but I'm also the kind of person who didn't look over talents or like look over kits very thoroughly when going after characters. So I mean, I could use the analysis. So if I could use it, I'm sure someone else could too. There's more Tales games too. I really need to get back into Tales. I love that series, man. It's so good. There's that Okami game. I need to get into that. I was thinking of getting Harvest Moon because I feel like I could turn Zatsu's like this into Zatsu's where I'm also playing a chill game instead of just sitting here and talking. I mean, if I was playing a game, I'd be obviously focusing on the game a little bit, but if I'm just sitting here not playing anything, then I'm just talking way more, just going off and off and off, rambling on for an hour, 46 minutes, and 52 seconds. Straight. You know, maybe some people would enjoy that, you know, listening to someone ramble for a bit. I don't know why you would, but I like having the option to also do something too. I was thinking of actually playing a little bit of Budokai 1 because I've been seeing a lot of people play that recently. And I mean, I'd like to go over a bunch of old games. I feel like that'd be really fun. Have like some sort of like retro series. Just playing a bunch of really old games that not a lot of people play anymore, or maybe some really special ones that no one's ever seen before, or never remember. Yeah, I feel like that'd be really funny. Fun. But it could also be funny too. Next stream, we played Dig Dug. Just like, why is this man playing Dig Dug? I don't know. There's so many things that I could do, man. I feel like maybe playing like a horror game would be a crazy twist, because I never play horror games. That'd be crazy. I don't like playing them because I get scared easily, but that's exactly why I should, you know what I mean? You guys would be able to see like what I'd be like in like a horror scenario. Because every time I like I was saying earlier, like every time I read like a story or watch something or even play a game, I'll try and like pretend as if I'm there. So like I really want to like I want to feel what's going on, you know? I want to be in touch with it. So like if I feel myself in that role, then I get a lot better of a reaction than if I was just looking at it. I just like run around a corner, there's a zombie and was like, haha, you thought you couldn't get me, and I turn around, there's another one that like jumps on my back and I'm like, oh shit. Yeah, the buddy. You know, I'm one of those people that would like, if I'm scared, I'm just gonna crack jokes forever. Just gonna try and like play it off as if like, oh, I'm not scared. It's just, yeah, we're just joke my way through it. Yeah, everything's fine. No. Just getting chased. I don't know, man. I also don't have to do that. I could just play anything else. I don't know. I should probably start heading out. My OBS is actually flickering a little bit. If I figure out that I've sounded robotic this whole time, I'm going to be extremely upset. But yeah, I guess I'll wrap it up here. A little below 2 hours. It's pretty good. Need to figure out what I'm gonna do for tomorrow, though. I might just do Okami. I've never actually played it before, so I feel like that would be good. I also feel like I've started too many games that I haven't finished either, so like I should get back to that, but it's hard for me to keep my attention. I wanna jump from this, jump to that. I don't know, we'll just see. Like I said, I need to remember this. Don't overthink it. Just do it. Tomorrow will come, I'll get home from work. I'll take a brief moment to unwind. And I'll be like, what do I feel like doing? And I'll just do like the first thing that comes to mind. And go schedule the stream from for like an hour after that moment. So then I have to do it. Once I see the stream scheduled, I'm like, all right, well, I can't undo it now. Wouldn't want to advertise that I'm going to do something but then not do it. So here I go. Just like get started with doing it before you regret it. Or before you second guess. I feel like I've also said that before. who knows, maybe every time that I just talk about this kind of stuff, I just say the same things over and over again. When will you get a grip? Oh, one more thing though. I got a pillow. I got a new pillow today. It showed up in the mail from my friend. My friend's pillow came in. They held a raffle, and I ended up winning a pillow, and it came in the mail. I won it while I was while I was out on vacation. I was like, I'm gonna come home to this. It's really comfy. So thanks, Grace. Anyway, I'm really gonna head out for realsies though. I'll see you guys hopefully tomorrow. Just need to do it tomorrow. Just do a stream tomorrow. Do it, idiot. A little awkward. I wanted to come back to say sorry. I clicked the wrong button. Alright, now for real. For realsies. For realsies. Okay, bye.